Hello and welcome to the first recording and the first episode of Subtitled Opinions. This idea that was in the making for a couple months now, and the idea has been in for a couple years, and we started planning out for a couple months now. And yeah, I figured we'd jump straight into introductions so that you know all who's on the podcast. I can start us off with that. My name is Nick. I started watching anime stuff years ago on Saturday morning cartoons, like a lot of people. I think the first one I ever saw was some unknown amount of Yu-Gi-Oh! And followed that up with Naruto and Dragon Ball later on. I think it was Dragon Ball Z Kai then when I was watching that. I can't remember which one it was then. But I remember I first watched original Naruto on one of those sketchy YouTube channels that would like upload just mass amounts of a show that would be like in a tiny corner of the screen so that they didn't get taken down for copyright. And then on some pirated website eventually. And yeah, I've known two of our other hosts, Gus and Daniel, known Daniel since preschool and Gus since elementary school and Nicole since the beginning of high school. Daniel, you want to start us off next?
I would love to. I am Daniel. I started watching anime 2013, 2012. That sounds about right.
Yeah.
And maybe even earlier because also Saturday morning cartoons of Dragon Ball, Yu-Gi-Oh, Sonic, an iconic anime.
Forgot about
And
Sonic.
Sonic X. Oh my god. So
Banger.
good. Best shonen I've seen in a while. And yeah, that's my history with anime. I started reading manga and manhwa more recently. But I'm also illiterate and can't read at all. So I don't read that often.
It's all good. That's
But
why the pictures are there.
that's why they have pictures. That's the only way I can consume words is if there's pretty pictures next to them. And that's why I enjoy subtitled media because I feel like I'm reading, but there's pretty pictures. So I'm tricking my brain. And I like to think I got Gus into anime. And Gus, if you would like to introduce yourself.
Yes, I agree with that. I'm Gus. I've been watching anime since I'm pretty sure I don't remember the timeline exactly, but my friend Daniel here started me off watching Fairy Tale. All-time classic.
Mm-hmm.
Absolute banger. No problems with that show whatsoever.
No problem.
I'm pretty sure that was the first one I watched. I also watched like some random ones on Netflix, but I don't remember if I watched those before or after. It's hard to say. Right now, I read manga more than watch anime, but I'll watch the occasional anime. I don't know.
Yeah, it's all good. You're watching
Right.
Attack on Titan, right?
Nope.
No. Tragic.
We'll come back to that.
And I'm Nicole. I've been watching anime since 2016, and I'm unlike everyone else because I started watching because of Tumblr. So my first anime was Haikyuu, and then Yuri on Ice. And then I didn't watch anything for years until a couple years ago. I rediscovered it.
I didn't know you started off with
uh,
Haikyuu.
Yeah, I did.
Start off with an absolute banger.
I
Yeah,
started off with Haikyuu when there was only one season out.
but the best season.
I disagree.
Best season so far.
That's it.
Maybe.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
remember the. Just wait till the next season comes out. It's gonna be an absolute banger.
I can't wait.
I look
What did they
forward to
say?
it.
They said 2023, right? For season 6? I saw
That's too
something
far.
about it.
I've lost interest.
Yeah.
Well, I have some news to share.
Yeah,
that
before we
happened
jump
recently.
jump
Absolutely.
straight into that, just to give an overview for everyone listening of what the main plan will be for this. We're going to cover as much anime and manga stuff as we can, and occasionally we will touch on gaming news, gaming related stuff if there's a reason to, and occasionally if a new D&D comes out or new Magic set and we really want to talk about that, we might
When
briefly
D&D
talk on that.
2 is released.
When D&D 2
I'll
comes
stop
out,
there.
you know. But we'll touch on that if it's something that we really think that it's worth talking about. Otherwise, mainly going to stick as an anime and manga podcast. The general episode outline we'll start with some discussion. Then we'll break it up with, we'll all share a brief anime news related thing that we found. And then we will probably do a discussion on a show that we will pick at the end of an episode to watch for the next episode and then talk about it. And then, of course, any points in the middle that people want to make or something they feel strong about, just we'll go for it and see how it all goes from there. So, Daniel, I think you wanted to start us off with a news thing, right?
I would love to. So, as I mentioned, as many of you know, I recently started reading manga. Thank you, Nick and Gus, for just really pushing that, especially when you were here visiting me. We went to that bookstore, and
Oh, yeah.
I got Call of the Night, and it's a vampire manga, which is my guilty pleasure. Is anything vampire related that isn't like shonen? Because for some reason, vampire shonen is bad in my eyes. Drama and romance, good. Recently, they released a teaser trailer that was an absolute banger. It looked beautiful, and the music is already on a playlist of mine because it was just so good by the hit band Creepy Nuts. And I'm really excited about it. It looked incredible. It's coming out either July or June 2022. So this summer, that's something to look forward to. Yeah, we'll see it. We'll see how it is.
Yeah.
I'm not that far in the manga yet.
As someone who tried as hard as I could when I saw it in the bookstore to get Daniel to buy it, and thankfully he did. I'm all caught up with it so far. Nicole and Gus, I'm pretty sure that neither of you have read it yet. I would very much ask you to at least give it a shot. It is very good. And another one that you can read, and then just like Dress Up Darling coming out now, you can read it and then you can watch it. But yeah, Daniel, I am very hyped for that. That is going to be so good. And whatever, I didn't catch the studio that's doing it, but whatever the like art style that they're doing for it, I think matches its theme. It's like feeling so well.
Well, the studio is Lydon Films. Lydon Films.
What
Let me
is
see what else they've done.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. They did some bangers, Nick. They did Tokyo Revengers.
Oh, a small.
They did Akashic Records of Bastard, whatever that anime
Akashic
is.
Records of a Bastard Magic Instructor.
That's unfortunate.
One-
They've done all the new Initial D movies.
Oh, okay, that
really?
is fire. I just saw one thing that is not fire. They did 2016 Berserk.
Was that the fucking
Yeah.
3D animated garbage one?
Yeah. Wait. Or maybe they
It wasn't
didn't.
awful.
Okay, it's on here under them, but it doesn't have them listed as a studio. So we're going to give them the benefit of the doubt and say that they did not partake in that absolute train wreck. Otherwise, they have done some good stuff on here. I'm excited. I think it's going to be really good. A lot of the shows on here have shown that they know what to do.
Our reliable source is myanimelist.net.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah.
we could be wrong.
It's just whatever someone
Oh.
said they did.
I like their work though. Like I've seen a few things they've done. None of them were like horrible.
Yeah,
So I'm looking forward.
slightly contrary opinion here. As someone who watched all of the old Initial D and then watched the movies when they came out, I kind of like the movies more. I might have to say that. I know none of you have any basis in this, but
Yeah.
I gotta agree.
the as like classic as the old Initial D is, it was almost too old for the car CGI to really like come into its own back then. And I think having the movie redos really gave the sort of action scenes like that extra little push that they needed. But that's just me. So who really knows?
Were the movies like a remake of the show?
Yes, they
But in movie
redid.
format?
Yeah, they redid the first 3 seasons of the show as just a movie per season.
With better animation.
Better animation, better CGI. I think they
Okay.
kept the same voice actors for a lot of it, but
I feel like that's the correct way to revamp an old show.
yeah. Obviously, pulling an entire season into a movie, they had to drop some parts. And from what I can remember, they dropped a lot of the not a lot of, but the parts that they dropped were all like not parts where they're racing cars. because that's the part that everyone cares about. But there were a couple details and like parts that I remembered from the show that they had to drop, which I was a little disappointed about. But at the offset of not making like a 4-hour movie, that's kind of what they had to do.
Yeah, when they translate things into movies, they always end up cutting things, and I feel like it's never like, I mean, unless it's done terribly. I feel like it's always a necessary thing.
Yeah.
Like, you can't really critique a movie adaptation too much for cutting things out.
I can critique it all right, but it just won't have any basis.
Critique wrong.
Speaking, sorry to segue off of this, Daniel, but
oh no.
Speaking of Initial D and manga and new shows that are coming out, the author of Initial D has been making a manga called MF Ghost that is sort of the same Initial D universe, the same stuff, but it's set in the future when all cars are electric and gasoline-powered cars are just like a specialty that people like watch for entertainment. And MF Ghost is getting a manga adaptation or an anime adaptation in 2023. So any Initial D fans out there, that's something to be hyped for.
Ooh, more cars.
Yeah, whatever.
I am
Man,
hyped.
do I love cars.
One of these days, you'll watch Initial D and you'll know what we're talking about.
Well, at the end of one of these episodes, you can force us to watch Initial D.
True, I could make you watch the movies because.
But I get to pick at the end of this.
Yeah. Daniel will pick a show at the end of today.
It's Daniel's pick today.
Now, Daniel, while you did start us into the news, I would like to briefly segue away from it so that we can come back to it as the sort of splitter between the two discussion parts, which is okay because we've got 3 more news things to discuss. But as the first thing to sort of get into today, might as well let everyone know what we think are the top 10 anime of all time, in our opinions, of course, which is no easy decision to make, but we made it nonetheless.
Very much in our opinions.
Yeah. So I think the way we should do this, as you read through your shows and explain sort of just a little bit of why you think each one goes where, we will not interrupt yet until you have finished going through all of them, and then we can delve into sort of asking you why something is better than another, or why I deserve that place at all. Sound good?
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
Who would like to start us off? Now don't go all at once.
I would like to
I can
hear
start.
Nicole's. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I can start. So, would you like me to give an explanation after each number, or just go all at once and explain afterwards?
Let's go all at once and then explain afterwards.
Okay. So, going down the list, I've got Fruits Basket at 1, Nana at 2, the Monogatari series number 3, Neon Genesis Evangelion and the entire franchise at 4, Bison Wolf is 5, Madoka Magica is 6, Golden Kamuy 7, Vinland Saga 8, Princess Jellyfish 9, and Mob Psycho 100 at 10.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
I'd like to hear some explanations for some of these.
All right. My list is very much based on like my personal beliefs. I'm not going off of like what I think is like overall the most popular greatest anime of all time, because that would be a boring ass list.
My Hero Academia number 1, no question.
So the one thing that I know that no one else is going to have shoujo on their list, and that's okay. I'm here to provide that perspective. But I think everyone should watch Fruits Basket. Like, it is not going to be everyone's thing, and not everyone's going to think it's the greatest anime of all time. But I think it's one of the best examples of a shoujo. With, like, honestly, the more I think about it, the more the structure of Fruits Basket is very similar to shonen romance. Like, it's different, but the structure is pretty, like, the basics of it are the same.
Nicole, could you sell me on a synopsis, like a nice summary
A Fruits Basket?
to get me into Fruits Basket? What would you sell me to get on the Fruits Basket?
I'm terrible at summaries, but I will try for you. My first superficial point with Fruits Basket: the men are all extremely attractive.
That's a plus.
Yeah, they're quite sexy.
Okay.
Hatsuharu, if you don't think Hatsuharu is hot, I don't trust your taste. He's so hot. Secondly, the romance is the most beautiful thing I have ever seen. It builds over 3 seasons, and in the end, we see that they got married and grew old together. It's beautiful. I cried. Thirdly, the conflict is so good, and there is drama and violence and killing. Actually, I'm not spoiling anything.
That all sounds good.
On that one.
I would also just like to add Daniel at least, I did just look up a picture of Hatsuharu from Fruits Basket, and she is not lying. This is the sexiest man I've ever seen.
Yeah. Look him up.
Pretty
So-
decent. I can't lie. Is he
Yeah,
the one that
I'm-
turns into the goat or the
He's
cow?
the cow. He's the cow.
Okay. Before I was giving him like a 7. Now it's like an 11.
Wait, is
Oh,
he
yeah.
white hair, spiky white hair boy?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's too much for me. In the
I
way
like him. I like him his coat is so sick.
I have a very weak spot in my heart for white-haired anime boys.
Oh my god,
Gojo's also there.
that fit is dripping.
So
Aniki
yeah,
from Tokyo Ghoul, you'd be simping for him? No?
Oh,
Okay.
a little bit. He's just like an
The white hair just adds something. There's some flavor in the white hair that I just.
Oh, the cow has pierced ears. That is the funniest shit I've ever seen.
Yeah, it does.
Honestly, in cow
he's dripped
form,
out.
I'd
He
smash.
kind of.
Dude,
I mean, let me check.
smashed burger. Let's go.
I do not
Look at the fucking hair.
I do not know if I could say the same, Gus.
That
I would-
motherfucker is dripping.
I would eat a burger made from that guy. That's what I would do.
Whoa.
That's weird.
You'd eat
And
his
saying
meat?
you want him-
Is that
saying
what
you
you
want
just said?
I mean, yeah. Raw even.
I respect it.
Yeah.
That's a little bit unsafe.
But it's good
I
meat,
feel
right?
like he'd be fine raw.
If it's good enough meat, you can do it.
Oh,
Fair
so
enough.
the
I think
cow.
he's Wagyu for sure.
Huh. I'm looking at this cow. To our viewers, it's an average looking cow, except
Whoa, that is not an average looking cow.
with the dripped out necklace, piercings, and white hair only on top.
It's a pretty sexy cow.
Like it's up there in cows, you know. Photoshopped. It's also photoshopped on top of the trans flag. I don't know what that's about.
I don't either. That's
Oh,
not
okay.
he supports it.
He supports it.
Oh, I
He's
respect it.
bisexual.
Yeah.
He's bisexual.
Cow,
That's the same thing.
this cow
Yeah.
speaks trans rights. This cow is trans rights.
He gets better
yeah.
every detail we find out about him.
All right.
All
If
right.
you're gonna watch Fruit Basket, you can just watch it for Hatsuharu. He's in it pretty often.
I have
Let
more
me
questions
look-
about your list, Nicole.
Yeah, I gotta pick some stuff apart here.
You go first. You go
Alright.
first. Nick.
I mean, the problem is I haven't seen enough of the ones I want to compare it to. I'm comparing it to something I haven't seen. What does? Well, actually, first off, Monogatari above Eva is something that I did not think I would see on this list.
Yeah. I've been thinking about this a lot. And I love Evangelion. Like I love Evangelion. But the thing that I love about Evangelion is like being able to engage with other people about it. Like
Yeah.
the original anime itself, I only really love the last 6 episodes. And I like the rebuilds, but they're a little too much battle for me.
I think
But,
I think that's why I sort of liked the parts that you didn't. Like,
Yeah.
as with you, I hated the beginning. Like, the first time I tried to watch Eva, I dropped it after the first 4 episodes because I was like, when does Shinji stop being a bitch? Like, I'm not gonna watch
Oh, he doesn't.
like
No.
all these episodes of, oh my gosh, there's a big thing happening and I can't deal with this. Like, I hate that. I hate watching
It's
that.
me though.
And so for me, I was like, when does something happen? And in defense, he never got better.
You'll
but-
like the rebuilds because he does.
Yeah.
Kind
But the later episodes at least had that fighting and I could like care about
Yeah.
something that was going on. So in that
Now-
regard,
Yeah.
I
and
liked the
reason-
later bit of it.
So my other argument about Evangelion, I love engaging with people. I love how it's such like a cultural like I can't remember
Staple
the word.
almost.
Like, yeah, like it's such a big thing, and that's so fun. Like there are so many people that know like about Evangelion. Like I worked at the mall last summer, and I have an Evangelion sticker on my Nalgene, and someone like one of the customers was like, "Oh, I love Evangelion," and I was like, "This is a weird interaction because you do
Yeah.
not look like you know what that is."
Yeah,
Nicole.
it's I totally feel you. Like when the last time I was at the airport and I had to put to give background on this, I have the tall Nalgene, the 2-liter tall Nalgene, and one half of it is entirely 02 stickers. Like there's other stuff on the other side, but one half is only 02. And I had to
Yeesh.
take it out of my bag and put it on the conveyor belt so that like someone could look at it to make sure I wasn't
Got put on the no-fly
smuggling.
list.
Yeah, well, they're basically to make sure that I
They're
would.
looking
Yeah,
at
not.
it, they're like, you're not getting on this flight.
Well, that's what I was thinking a little bit. But what ended up happening is the TSA guy because I could go on and on about how every time I fly, something gets pulled aside and they have to search something just for them to find nothing. But this time, one of my bags got pulled aside, and I'm like, he looks through it and there's nothing in it, and he's giving me back all my stuff, and he sees me pick up my water bottle and put it into my backpack, and he goes, "Wow, really going all out with that water bottle, huh?" And I didn't know what to say, because what do you say to that? And then he instantly segues to, he goes, "Did you see the new Demon Slayer movie?" And I was like, "Oh yeah," and we had a nice little chat about the Demon Slayer movie. And it was like, who would expect a random TSA agent to use my 02 covered water bottle as a segue into talking about Demon Slayer?
Yeah.
Natural
Yeah.
progression.
Yeah.
Anime has become very mainstream, to the point. Well, it's weird because like I don't want to have anime stickers on like everything. Like I have an old laptop and I put a bunch of anime stickers on it because I'm like, I won't take this to college, and then I took it to college. So now I'm like in the library and like public spaces with these like a bunch of anime stickers on my laptop, and like a lot of people like will come up to me and be like, "Oh, did you see blah blah blah? Oh, you like I like the stickers on your laptop and stuff like that." And I've made friends that way. But it's just it's a very strange thing. You make friends very
Yeah,
quickly with
it's
stickers.
That's so
definitely like
interesting.
having anything, at least in my note, like realm of noticing, is having anything anime related, either wearing it or carrying it with you without even saying it. It's sort of like an invitation to converse with like anyone.
Whenever I've worn anime merch, I've never had that experience. And I think it's a gender thing.
What stickers do you have?
I have an Evangelion one. I have
That's
a Yona
why.
Zidane one. No, I have a Yona one. And I have one other shoujo one.
I think
But it's not
Oh,
like other people come up to me and are like, "Oh, I have also seen that shoujo anime."
They don't want to admit it.
part of it, yeah,
Yeah.
part of it could be no one wants to admit they watch shoujo. The other part could be
Well,
they see
it-
Eva stickers and they go, "Oh God, gross, an Eva fan." They're gonna tell me how Eva's better than everything else in the world. I don't want to talk to them. But yeah, a little bit of it might be a gender thing, and
damn, you're speaking real loud for someone with Evangelion on their list.
I don't have it on my water
Yikes.
bottle though. My list and my water bottle are two different things.
I think people will approach you. Okay, do you see those animes in like Box Lunch or like in Hot Topic or like at
Yeah.
Target on a graphic tee? You see those?
Fruits Basket is all over.
Fruits
Really?
Basket is.
Yeah.
What
Have
about
you never
what about
been
other?
into... I got I got Fruits Basket socks at Hot Topic. They're the best.
Okay, what about
I love
other shoujo though?
Sailor Moon?
Yeah,
Definitely.
but
But not
Do you
Yona. You're right about that.
I feel like
You need
I,
more
as-
stickers.
Yeah,
I'm a filthy shonen enjoyer.
But I
And
think
that's
like
the
even
mainstream
if I was to wear a JoJo shirt, I don't think someone would be like, "Oh my god, you watch JoJo?" Like no one would come up to me and talk to me about.
well, that's because you're a female.
I don't
JoJo
know,
fans,
JoJo's
JoJo
the
fans
best
only want
example.
JoJo fans only want dudes. That's why they come up to us.
Yo, that's
but
facts.
part of it is, or at least that I think, is that, like you're saying, you have all these really good shows, but they're less popular. Like I can put on my Naruto sweatshirt, and anyone sees that and they know what that is. Like people don't really even
Yeah.
have to look closely at it. So it might just be like, I'm sure if you wore, like, and obviously I don't get people coming up to me every single time I wear something, but it's
You just
enough.
attracting like throngs of people.
Yeah,
Every time
but
you put on the Naruto sweatshirt.
it's enough that you like notice it, right?
Yeah.
So I think if you wore some like super mainstream shonen stuff all the time, you'd start to get a couple of them, because it's not like I might say
Yeah.
it like it happens all the time, but it's more just it happens twice and I make that my whole identity for like the next month or something.
Mhm.
I still think there's a gender split there. I still think that like the reason I'm not approached is that like there's this whole thing in the anime community, or whatever you want to call it, because that sounds real cringe. Where like people just generally assume that when girls watch anime, it's a pick me thing, especially if it's shonen. You either
Maybe.
watch shoujo and no one cares what you watch, or you watch shonen and people think you're a pick me.
In the least creepy way possible, though, if I see a girl wearing mainstream anime merch, I'm definitely gonna go like talk to her about it. Not in like a, oh
Yeah.
god, she's probably a pick me, or like in a weird way, like, ooh, finally. But just like, I'm not going to see it. I'm not going to. I'm not. I'm not going to see it and be like, I don't want to talk to them. Like I'm going to see it and be
Yeah,
like,
but,
they
like,
probably.
I feel like the majority of the anime community, or maybe not the majority, but like a lot of mainstream shonen enjoyer, like 16-year-old boys, they're not going. They might be more in line with how Nicole thinks, or
Oh, for sure.
not like
Yeah.
yeah. And also, if you're a 16-year-old shonen enjoyer, have you ever spoken to a woman in your life?
No, you're scaring them away, Nicole.
That's a good
They're seeing
point
you
there.
and they're like, what do I even say? Like this is
really
I make
appreciate
jokes
that.
about this, but
You've probably been approached by some of them, but you just didn't realize because they have no presence, so you didn't even notice
Because
they're there.
when they
They're
look
just,
at
like,
you, you
their
Air.
spirit their spiritual pressure was so low that you couldn't even tell they were there.
they have the JoJo's menacing thing when they look at you. Like you have that. They're like, shit.
They are the
They-
enemy stand user.
Yeah. So I I can see that. As once a 16-year-old shonen enjoyer, I did not really approach people like, oh, nice anime stickers. I also watch Fire Force.
Yeah, that's even something like when I like the reason I stopped watching anime for a long time is I was like, oh, I don't want people to know I watch anime. Like that
Mhm.
was the whole thing.
Yeah, because you were like a
Because-
loser if you did it.
Yeah,
And
and I
the
was a
weird
loser anyways. I was
Some
like,
things never change.
Yeah, and the weird thing with that too is that the shows that you were a loser for watching were like the bangers. Like people are like,
Yeah.
"Oh God, you watch Naruto?" Like, make fun of me now. Some of the stuff I watch now, like, you should believe me for that. But don't for Naruto. That one's okay.
Naruto's a little overhyped. Did you even watch all of Naruto, Nick?
No, the old one.
Why do you have a Naruto hoodie if you never watched all of Naruto?
I watched the old
That's
one.
a yikes.
hey,
You haven't even read the Naruto manga like I have? I'm the
I've
real
seen-
Naruto fan.
I put in my time, bro. I watched all of Naruto.
You count Boruto in there? You watch Boruto?
No, I don't watch Boruto. I dropped
what the
Boruto. I was
fuck
like,
watches Boruto?
bro,
That's what I
okay.
want to know.
Criminals,
If you're listening-
criminals watch Boruto.
if you're listening to this podcast right now and you watch Boruto, leave. I don't care if
Yeah,
you don't
sorry,
get any
you're not
views.
invited.
Just leave. I'd rather
Or-
have 0 views than Boruto watchers.
Or tell us your Twitter, Instagram, your whatever handle, so that I can block you and never see anything
Tell
you have
me-
to say.
Tell me your address.
I just
Yo,
want to
wait
know.
a second.
I just
We will
want to talk.
dox you.
We'll have
um,
a segment next episode where we just read off addresses of Boruto enjoyers.
the culling. Not to segue off of this, Nicole. To keep going with what you were saying about wearing the merch. And with Daniel's, like, when you're 16, you don't talk to anyone either. That is the one detail that I left out because I didn't even think about it. The only people that I have approached about it or have had approach me, it's always other adults.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's just generally if you're 16, you're afraid to talk to anyone who's older than you. And even
Especially
if
about anime.
especially about that. Because what if you walk up to me and you go, "Oh, I like blah blah blah," and they're like, "I just wear this because it's cool." What are you? Some sort of like that is your worst nightmare. Is that
You
you would
a
walk up to
weeb.
compliment it and someone would somehow roast you when they're the one wearing it.
Bro, I don't know.
Like-
I'm still afraid of that. I'm
But that's so different now.
still afraid of that.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
anime, for like, I don't know, millennials, like those people now older than us. Well, they were always older than us. Anyway, anime was not cool back when they were watching anime.
Yeah.
And now going into when like I was in middle school, it was like it was okay. Like lots of
But
people
as a
watched it.
girl, for me, watching anime in middle school was like the most embarrassing activity I could have possibly taken part of.
Yeah, but didn't you also
absolutely.
read Warriors?
Yo,
Don't expect
Warriors
me
was
like that.
top tier, bro. You cannot bring
Bro,
that up.
Hold up. Did you guys read the Warriors manga? Because
That
I
shit
read
was
the Warriors
gas. I
manga.
only read one
It was so
book.
good. I read like 10 of them. It was so good.
Warriors
As
was
long-
an OG manga.
You're clear for reading the book as long as you didn't run around at recess pretending you were a cat.
Okay, anyways, next topic here. What we're talking about next.
So
Is someone
I-
else gonna read off their top 10 list?
I don't have any more questions on Nicole's list.
Yeah,
Um,
Nicole's is pretty solid. Of the ones I've seen, they fit where you put them in relation to the others.
One
Yeah.
issue.
Yes.
Golden Kamuy. Kamuy?
Kamuy.
I
Yes.
dropped it.
Why? I want to hear your explanation for
It's
why.
at least on pause because I remember if there like there was not too much drawing me to that show in the first place, but the
Mhm.
second there was a tiny slump in the show where it was like, oh, it's a little bit slow. I it was like no excuses, and I immediately dropped it.
Well, okay, here's my thing with Golden Kamuy, because I love Golden Kamuy.
Mhm.
I think the thing that I thought was really cool is that they focus so much on indigenous Ainu culture. That is like not a thing that happens in any shows, and also not in a lot of Western shows. Like they take so much time to like in like the Ainu village and making food and stuff. I thought that was so cool. And I also love the historical aspect of it because I'm a nerd about that stuff.
Okay.
And the
Should I
characters are just great.
should I pick
Like
it back up then?
I think it does get less slow once you get actually it definitely is much faster paced as you move forward in the show in second and third season. It gets kind of crazy. There's not a lot of filler.
Nicole, can I butt in quick about the Inu culture?
I knew, yeah.
I knew if you like that, I think you would really like To Your Eternity, which was a
Interesting.
seasonal last season.
Yeah, I watched a couple episodes of it, but I didn't get super into it.
It was I liked it. It was pretty good.
Yeah, I think the thing about Golden Kamuy that I liked is that it was based on like actual events about like the Ainu's maltreatment by the Japanese government, and then like the revolution, the uprising of ethnic minorities in Russia and Japan. Yeah, I thought that was so cool. But also, that's the nerdiest thing to be excited about. So
I'll admit,
take it
the
with a grain of
only clip I saw of that was where the dude's eyelid gets frozen to like someone else's, I don't know, something, and they just have to get pissed on. And I saw that and I
yeah,
was
it's
like,
a button.
even if it like even if that was just a clip and it's got good other parts, that was like at least on my own when I was thinking, will I watch this? I just thought of that and I was like, I don't know. I don't know if I
That's
will.
in the third season. But also, like the thing about the reason it's not at the farther up my list is the humor is super weird, and the fan service gets super weird. Like
Really?
it's kind of fun, but the fan service is all about the dudes,
Oh.
and like the the author just keeps making one of the dudes' pecs bigger in every chapter he releases. They've gotten so much larger over time. It's so funny. And
Um
there are
oh,
like 3 different naked sauna scenes. So much going on.
yeah.
I guess I have to pick it back up.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's like some
Bef-
wrestling. There's a lot of
I
wrestling.
did see that clip. I saw that one weird clip. Before
Oh
we
yeah, for me
before we
too.
jump to someone else's list real quick, just one question for you, Nicole.
Oh yeah.
Where is the Ghibli?
Okay. I love a Ghibli movie, but I don't think I love it enough for it to make it past any of the things I put on my list. Like I don't want to replace any of the things that are on my list now for a Ghibli movie, you know? Like I'm sure like maybe Mononoke, Howl's Moving Castle, Kiki's Delivery Service are all like in my top 20, but they don't make it top 10.
All right.
That's my
As
yeah.
long as they're up there. As long as they're up there.
Oh yeah, they definitely are.
I'm
It's
always just a
fantastic.
little bit sussy of any top list that is missing Ghibli.
Understandable. I agree.
Because usually at least when you see it in like that's when I see either popular TikTokers or like a thing online where someone's like these are the top 10 best or these are the top 20 best of whatever time period. If I
Yeah.
glance through it usually and don't see any Ghibli on there, I automatically am like I
Yeah.
don't really care.
Yeah.
Just usually. That's my default.
I think a movie and a show are such a different experience.
That's true.
Like it's hard to put them in the same list.
All right.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
gotta level with you guys. I'm gonna piss myself. I just had 24 ounces of coffee and 24 ounces of water.
Where did you get 24 ounces of coffee?
Keurig. Yeah, out of my. This is a great time to our sponsor segment, Box Lunch. Thank you, Box Lunch, for
Bro, I
sending me
wish Box Lunch would
this
sponsor us.
Fire Force mug that I bought and ordered to my apartment. Thank you for that.
That they didn't actually sponsor.
Well, they sent it to me.
That's true.
Anyway,
They allowed him to purchase it, basically.
Exactly.
If you want to be allowed to purchase that mug as well, you can go to Box Lunch.
Hi,
Yeah.
welcome back after the P segment of the podcast.
Pee break is over, and to start off the post-pee break, Daniel, you want to give us your list?
Oh, I would love to. I'm gonna start at 10, like Watch Mojo.
Oh my
At number
god.
10, I have
Whoa.
Twin Star Exorcist. I don't think anyone has watched that.
Nope.
I
I
remember you
watched it.
suggested it.
Nope.
Number 9, Mob Psycho 100.
Hey yo.
8, SAO Season 1, but only the first half.
Interesting.
7, Shield Hero.
As a
6,
whole, or one of the seasons?
as a whole.
Okay.
One of the seasons. There's only one season.
There's 2.
No.
Yes.
When did that occur?
You not seen the second season?
Daniel
Hold
just
on.
learned something.
I feel like
Hold
you're
on.
probably in the second season.
Hold on.
Yeah, there is.
There's no way.
There is. There's Rising
There
of the Shield
is.
Hero season 2.
Where?
Oh wait, am I tweaking?
You are. Are you looking at Verve right now? We are Verve. We are a Verve podcast and Funimation. Thank you for
Verve and
saying that
Funimation.
Fire Force mug, by the way, Funimation. In partnership with Box Lunch. There is
Was
no
there
second
like
season yet.
was there like a
Oh,
second
it was
half?
announced, I think.
There
Yeah,
might have
now
been a
it's
second.
I think. How many episodes does the first season have?
25.
25.
I'm pretty sure it was 2 parts.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So
If
I
I
was
had
just
to guess.
thinking. Yeah, I was thinking of part 2. Okay, continue.
Thank you. That was at 7. 6 is ReZero as a whole. All of ReZero. 5, Your Name. 4, Fire Force. 3, The Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime. 2, the entirety of Demon Slayer. And number 1, Jujutsu Kaisen Season 1.
If anyone doubted for a moment that we don't have the shonen enjoyer on this podcast,
They call
you have
me
just
Shonen
been
Enjoyer.
you have just been proven completely wrong.
The only thing that's not shonen is Your Name, which I could argue.
I
is
would
a
argue
shonen.
that is shonen romance.
I believe, yeah, that falls into the category. Let me look it up.
Okay.
It's shonen romance.
I guess I'm thinking of shonen as like action animes, but I get it's targeted at not my age demographic, but I'm still a child at heart, even though I'm the oldest one here.
In heart and in mind.
And
Sorry,
in
that-
mine. No, that's accurate. I'm illiterate. I read picture books. Any
Daniel's
questions
feeling
about my
his
list?
inner child.
I have some questions.
Yeah, me too.
Absolutely.
I would like to start off first by congratulating you on the SAO thing. I didn't even think about splitting it up that much to get it on the list. But basically, I think compared to the other stuff on here, ReZero seems a little bit low.
Okay.
I want you to explain why Fire Force is above 6 other anime.
All right. Should I give my reasons of going down the whole list? I can keep them brief. So,
Sure, yeah.
Jujutsu Kaisen, amazing animation. I love all the characters. They did female characters well, as in
That's
not
true.
Sakura, and just had amazing fight scenes, well choreographed. It looked beautiful. Great show. Excited for everything else that comes along. Demon Slayer, also very unique. Like, I love their art style. It looks beautiful. The emotions you feel during it, and just everything about that show I really enjoyed as a whole. It was like always looking forward to it. That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime. I love that show so much. They do like power scaling in a fun way. It's not necessarily like unique, like horribly unique or anything, or like super special. It just had parts I enjoyed and it looked nice. It's about a ball of slime like being the strongest thing in the world. And I thought
That's
that was
a fun
fun.
premise. That's fair.
That's fair. Fire Force. Okay. Fire Force is a fire department that doesn't just fight fire, it kills fire. There's fire demons, and they beat the shit out of fire demons, but the firefighters use fire to fight fire. Literally fire to fight fire. And then there's a secret cult that's behind the fire
Okay,
demons.
we don't need a synopsis, all right, bro?
Yeah,
You
we
just
don't
explain
need-
Okay,
why
I'm sorry.
you sort of devolved away from giving the point.
That's a good point. Fight scenes are super fun. Characters are funny. And the sound design in that show is incredible. I love it so much. Your Name. It made me cry. It looked beautiful. I had to put a very heartfelt movie on here. ReZero. I liked I'm liking ReZero. I'm up to date on it. I like the characters, but it's just I dropped it somewhere in season 2 where it felt like it kind of the aspect of him dying and replaying the same thing kind of felt slow somewhere in season 2. Like it's like doing this so we have to do this again. It was like failing a mission and going back to the same save point over and over again but never like proceeding, which I guess added a part of it of like his insanity a little bit, but it felt slow somewhere there. So it's a little bit lower. Shield Hero, it is a typical isekai. I enjoyed it. It has a weird like uh kind of harem plot, but not a harem plot. You know what I mean? Does anyone get that?
I watched it. I get it.
Yeah, but like yeah. So it's up there. It's just not up there. Sword Art Online season 1. I just remember watching this. I was that 16-year-old shonen enjoyer, and I remember
yeah.
watching SAO, and I'm like, edgy guy with like black jacket and 2 swords. He's killing stuff in a video game. Like this is cool. And then everything else afterwards was like, why? Why are there tentacles now? And like, why? What? His sister? And then so just the first half. Mob Psycho
Peak.
probably should be higher up. I'm not even gonna lie.
It's so good.
Mob Psycho, a beautiful display of like emotions in like a unique way that
Yeah.
is fighting, and all the characters are lovable, and
And
I
it's
love
hilarious.
it's
It's
hilarious.
hilarious.
So funny.
I love the self-improvement club.
Me too.
I
I love
they're
Mob.
adorable. I love Mob.
I love
Twin
Mob
Star,
so much.
he's beautiful. He's a
I
great
love him.
great guy. Twin
Thinking
Star
about him makes me want to
Exorcist.
cry.
Twin Star Exorcist
Sorry.
is a really good mix of action and romance, and I just really enjoyed that. It was like 50 episodes, so it felt really like complete, but also not terribly long. I just remember really enjoying each episode. Also, because I am a teenage boy at heart, no matter what age I actually am, and I'm like, oh, they're cute. Now kill something. So that was the idea behind that.
Yeah.
Classic teenage boy impulse.
I
they're
This
cute.
list is
Now
just
kill
me.
something.
as a shonen enjoyer myself,
Mhm.
I like your list.
Thank you.
It's good.
As a sane
You know
human
what?
being, I don't like your list.
As
You know what
someone
I
who
noticed
doesn't,
about your list?
Hmm.
It's like a lot of them. It's just like in order of the quality of the art, because like Jujutsu Kaisen has insane animation. Same with Demon Slayer. Don't know how Slime got in there. Fire Force again, really good. Your Name, absolute banger. ReZero, I've seen 1 episode. I think it's okay. Shield Hero had some pretty good stuff. Mob Psycho had really cool animation. SAO was good. Haven't seen Twin Star Exorcist.
And
If
I
you
see
think
what you're
about it too, that fits with Daniel's. I can pretend like I'm reading the words, but I'm just looking at the pretty pictures.
Yeah,
Like his
you
list,
know?
his list is a bunch of
You
pretty
know what?
pictures.
This
I
is
did say
interesting.
I did say Mob Psycho should probably be higher than 9. Honestly, I feel like it should be maybe
It should
at
be
6.
6.
Yeah, okay.
It's only a
'Cause-
10 on my list because it's new. I just finished it. I haven't had
And
time to process yet.
I
It
don't
hasn't
have
scaled yet.
that restraint.
It's fantastic.
I'm gonna put
It's
it
so good.
at 6 actually.
You're gonna swap it with ReZero?
I'm gonna swap it with.
Just
Or
push
are you just
everything
gonna
down.
put it up there?
I'm pushing everything else down.
Okay,
Okay.
that's fair. That's fair.
I feel like you guys, Daniel, you watched One Punch Man, right?
I did.
Okay.
I haven't
You know,
seen it yet.
Gus,
Good.
I'll
I
have you.
love One Punch
I'll
Man.
have you know, One Punch Man was in my mass of ones that I was trying to pick 10 from.
Yeah. I
It
love
didn't.
One Punch Man.
It didn't make the top 10 cut.
I
but it was
will
up there.
admit, One Punch Man anime is not as good as the One Punch Man manga. It's a pretty decent adaptation, but I feel like the manga makes it so much better because you get to see all the little things more. And
Yeah,
I feel like that's what it's all about.
At some point later, I think we should do an animanga top list where
That's
it's
fair.
just you can make a top 10 out of anything, whether it's anime or manga.
I
or
also have my
both.
top 10 manga list over on my
Yeah.
other screen.
I didn't make that yet, but one of these days we'll cover that.
Oh yeah.
Anyone else got any thoughts on Daniels, or should we move on to Gus?
Something you think should be on my list instead.
My one problem is with Fire Force. I think, like, for me at least, fan service ruined Fire Force for me.
So
Booba.
Teenage boy moment. So
the
Yeah.
second
Daniel,
the second you had an issue with Fire Force, I just immediately knew it was just Tamaki and nothing else.
Like, I liked it.
Necessarily.
I thought it was good, but it was just the fan service.
If they took the fan service and like divided it amongst the entire cast, like if they took the fan service in Tamaki and distributed it, it would be a
Yeah.
fine show. But they're like, no, let's just like absorb it all and shove it on this useless
Use the
character.
fan service.
Somehow, though, Daniel, I think I would rather watch it with just Tamaki versus all of them. Because at least when she comes up on the screen, I'm like, okay, she's only got one purpose here. Versus the other way, I would be worried that it would just become too much, like, constantly.
I think he means it in a different way. He's not talking like every scene one of the characters is gonna be
Oh,
fan
I got you.
service.
I
Just
got
like
that amount, but split up.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like
I
and
think
it wouldn't necessarily, because for Tamaki it's like kind of important to the plot, except not really.
Yeah.
It could be like, you remember when they did the like calendar thing?
Yeah.
I'm thinking like that kind of idea, where it's not like some dog shit plot point where this character is completely useless in all situations, and more
Yeah.
like a funny side thing.
It's
Because that's something that Fire Force did
I
really
am
well.
disappointed that we didn't get that actual calendar.
You didn't get that calendar. Do you want the calendar?
I want the
Thanks
calendar.
to today's sponsor, Box Lunch, for sending me the Fire Force calendar.
There's
Oh
something wrong
man.
with you.
In February, we're gonna have Captain Obi. I'm really excited.
Captain Obi. Oh wait, he's the sexy one.
Yeah,
Yes, I'm pictured of that one.
the age appropriate interest. Anyway,
Anyways,
Anyway,
I want to see
Gus,
Gus's list
what do you
really
got?
bad.
All right. Okay. So I haven't watched that much anime. Well, I have, but it's like 40%
Mostly.
One Piece.
Yeah.
So I really have like a top 3, and then everything else is just sort of there because I was looking at my list of everything I've watched, and I was just going based off of score basically, and like the vibes. So like everything else, but the top 3 is there. So number 1, I am the stereotypical JoJo's fan, kind of.
Yeah.
The number 1 is JoJo's. I love JoJo's. Number 2 is One Piece. One Piece. I feel like I have to put it on the list because I've watched all of One Piece. Like, honestly, I would say I've watched all of One Piece twice.
I
But
would say
think-
at least twice.
yeah, maybe not like the last
boring parts.
third twice, but I've seen like the first half because me and Daniel were like the first people to like watch most of
Mhm.
One Piece, and then we have been watching, or at least I've been watching other people watch One Piece like from the start. So I've watched a lot of One Piece, and I really like it. It's a lot of cool stuff. Oda is a genius. Number 3, Haikyuu. I love Haikyuu. I play volleyball sometimes, and so I think I enjoyed it perhaps more than the average anime consumer. And then number 4, I put Demon Slayer Mugen Train because that was what came next on my list, and it was really good. I actually haven't seen all of the first season of Demon Slayer, so that's a little bit awkward, but the movie was good. I enjoyed it thoroughly.
I remember you watching episodes of Demon Slayer on the drive to watch
15
Mugen
minutes
Train.
before, grinding out the episodes, having 2 people explain it to me as I skipped forward.
Gus, for some background for people, in the trailer part before a movie starts, Gus was watching season 1 of Demon Slayer.
Yep,
I don't
yep.
remember how far he
how
got.
far did you get though?
I got pretty far.
He almost made it.
How many episodes are in the first season?
26.
I'm pretty sure I was at like either 19 or 20.
Oh,
Yeah.
so much.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
The last bit
I
is
had
the-
seen a lot of it before. So it was only like somewhere in the 6 to 8 episode range, but
That's not bad.
it was
Yeah.
good. It was good.
Yeah, that's not bad at all.
Number 5, Sakura Trick. I don't know. I don't think any of you have seen that.
I have not.
It's like a cute lesbian romance one.
Love.
That one I don't know. I could put that one somewhere else, but everything else is just vibes. So The vibe on that one is funny. I enjoyed that show. Number 6, One Punch Man. As I said, I like the manga more, but I think the anime is good. I think it's really funny. I don't have Mob Psycho on my list because I didn't finish it, but Mob Psycho is
You
good
didn't
too.
finish it? The end is so good.
Yeah, I don't remember what happened. I stopped watching after partway through season 1, and then I came back to it, and then I stopped partway through season 2. But
Yeah.
I'll probably eventually watch.
That's fair.
Number 7, Hunter x Hunter.
The classic.
I liked it. I'm trying to remember what my opinion on that was. It's good. I feel like it's kind of overhyped, but I feel like each arc is very solid. I think it's just a solid classic one. It's a shame that
We probably won't get more of it.
manga, but if you haven't read the manga, the parts after the anime are really interesting. But if you don't like things ending with a gigantic cliffhanger, then don't read it because there's a huge cliffhanger. Number 8, Baki. The only reason that's there, I'm pretty sure, is because people have been watching Baki recently in Discord. That shit is hilarious. Oh my god. The characters, not a single one of the characters in Baki is built correctly. Every single one is built wrong. Like, it's just fighting for no reason. Season 1, they break out of prison to fight. Season 2, they break into prison to fight. You just never know what's gonna happen.
My favorite thing is when they break into prison.
Yep.
God.
Number 9, Attack on Titan. I put this there mostly out of respect and partially because I didn't have anything else to put on the list.
Okay.
I liked Attack on Titan. I don't know. The hype became too much near the end. I think it's good, but I don't know. I didn't like it that much. It's a very good anime, but like I haven't watched the most recent season, the new stuff that's coming out,
Fair.
so hard to respect it. And then I put Food Wars because Food Wars is funny.
Food Wars is hilarious.
Yeah. I
Love.
think that's solid. Everything on there is pretty solid. And I agree with
Yeah.
your placement of Hunter x Hunter as it doesn't do anything the best, but it
Okay.
does everything
It's
very
like number
well.
2 in every category.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
like the power system is 100% better than everything other than JoJo's. No question.
Yeah.
I think JoJo's is the best. Not Hamon. Sorry. That one is a little bit. They kind of missed a little bit on that one.
We are a podcast of Hamon not enjoyers, tragically.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nen is insane. Very incredible power system. And then
Oh,
I don't know.
The villains are
Overall, the
all
arcs,
really
Yeah.
good, but they're not the best I've ever seen. Yeah. I think
Well,
second in
yeah.
most categories is a good way to
Yeah.
describe it.
it's like the ultimate number 2.
Now,
So
I
it's
have a
just
question.
overall really good.
Gus, when did you start watching One Piece? Were we at the same time? And do you remember like the first episode? Like, what was it like for you?
The first episode?
Yeah.
Well, I've seen the first episode like 4 times. And I've
The
read the
first-
manga for like the first.
Okay.
I haven't read that much of the manga, but I'm pretty sure you started before me.
Okay.
And then I caught up to you, and then we were like at the same point for a while. And then I like zoomed ahead of you,
Mm-hmm.
and then I was like 400 episodes ahead of you because I was literally only watching One Piece. And then you like grinded up, and then I think recently you've always been like a couple episodes behind, except when like
Yeah.
you catch up because now we're current.
I let the Wano arc build up.
Yeah.
So I can watch it in like a binge. Because like honestly, nothing important happens except in like a 2-episode span or a 3-episode span. So they get
Yeah.
one idea across amongst multiple episodes.
The beautiful One Piece pacing is
Mm-hmm.
just always evident.
When I started One Piece, the only reason I started, I was sick, home from school for the first time in a long time. And I was like, it was like a fever dream watching One Piece because all their arms and legs were really long and like really skinny, but their fists were like huge for some reason. And like, I remember watching and being like, what is going on? He's in a barrel. And I'm like, what is this show? And now, like, where it is now it's wild. Like, it went from
It is so good.
stretchy barrel boy to like this massive world. And there's so many characters in this world.
The ultimate
just-
world
As
building.
someone as someone who has been very staunchly opposed to watching One Piece for so long, I just can't make myself do it. Because now it's like a part of my personality that I don't watch One Piece.
Yeah, I think if you watched it, you'd be telling yourself that you don't like it for too much of the time.
Yep. I agree.
I suggest people to watch One Piece, but I understand people that don't because it's a grind.
I would like to say I am not as on the grind as Daniel and Gus. I am chilling around episode 800 right now. I don't remember exactly where, but about a month ago, I finally got to Senor Pink's backstory, and
Oh my god.
that fucked me up. When I saw him, I was like, classic One Piece character. He dressing like a baby. What a loser. And then I got to that episode. Or 2 episodes, I guess. Yeah, I had to check myself.
That is the quintessential One Piece thing. You got the most strange looking character, and you're like, this character will not be relevant to the plot at any point. And then you're like, damn, they did Senor Pink dirty.
So bad. I feel so bad for him.
He's got a nice name, though.
One thing I will say
solid
about
name.
One Piece is the variety of like body types in that show. Like they just normalized like every size of human being, and it's wild.
Even
All the
the
ladies be looking like
No,
You ain't seen
Sticks.
Big Mom.
balloons.
I should rephrase that. There are like several like the main character ladies. That's a good point. Except for like 3 or 4 exceptions, they do all have like the same body
They
type.
look like sticks with balloons on their chest.
You're
That's kind of the
absolutely
vibe.
right. We
I
stand.
will
wrong.
say the animation exaggerate that a little bit. I'm pretty sure the manga is a little bit more regular. I'm not gonna say that is what a human can look like in the manga, but it is
Oh yeah, I don't.
better.
I don't think it's. I don't expect them to be like realistic looking women, but like at the same time, it's a bit ridiculous.
True.
They all got
Yeah.
the most massive honkers on the planet.
I will admit, all the characters in One Piece are a little bit absurd.
Yeah.
Like we got the motherfucking Whitebeard. That man's 18 feet tall or something.
And he's a normal
He's
human.
a regular human.
Yeah.
That's fair.
And like the Navy, if you look at like a splash page of like the whole Navy, there's like normal looking dudes and then massive dudes, but they're all human, more or less.
Yeah.
I'm like, really? Like
You're
literal
lying.
giants.
They got some diverse genes in the One Piece verse.
Yeah, they really do.
I would like to
like
say
their-
my
yeah.
body goals are Zoro. That is
You would
he
say
is
that.
peak. He is peak to me. That is
Zoro
what
is
I
hot.
lifting like
that is what I wanna be-
100 million pound weights.
I want to be back snatching like 3 tons. If I can't if I can't back press 3 tons, I don't know what I'm going to be doing.
Do you want me to slice your chest at a diagonal as well?
Yeah, and could you cut one of my eyes too?
Yeah, sure. Next podcast. That's some content.
Next podcast, I'm gonna have stitches
Audio.
and no depth perception.
We're going to turn into One Piece characters.
All right, body
The amount
goal,
of
big
plastic
mom.
surgery I'm gonna have. to
Nicole,
undergo.
you're gonna have the rough. Well, what about whoever's going for
The
Luffy
worst
gonna have trouble?
You know what? I'll go for Nicole, so you don't have to. I'll go for Nami.
You're going for Nami? I feel
I'll
like
go for Nami.
I fit better. I'm the one with
Oh,
red hair.
okay. No, it's cool. Because that's what's holding me back. The red hair.
Daniel, you can be Chopper.
Hey guys, I'm a furry now, and I really like cotton candy.
Yeah.
Love that guy.
Gotta
I
sing the
love
little song.
the Tony Chopper.
I love that song.
His song. I love it so much. Whenever I hear it, I'm like, best.
I'm like, everyone shut up.
Everyone, shut up. He's singing. He's
All right.
doing his best.
Any
Listen to him.
any other nitpicking on Gus's list?
No, I think we're good.
I don't think so.
My list is perfect.
Yeah. I would not change a thing about Gus's list. Based on actually no, I would change a couple things, but
Oh,
not
well,
for him.
liar.
Not for him, for myself. Which I
Okay.
will, as I give you my top 10. Starting off, well, I'll do Daniel's. 10 to 1. 10th place, I have ReZero. In 9th place, Howl's Moving Castle. 8th place, Hunter x Hunter. 7, we've got Your Name. 6, we've got Neon Genesis. 5, Death Note. 4, Attack on Titan. 3, One Piece. 2, JoJo's. And in first place, we've got the Monogatari series.
Why do you say it like that? It's Monogatari.
My bad.
Say it right.
Are these
I'm
just
waiting.
your opinions on how to pronounce it?
No,
or
I
is
think
there...
it actually is right. I think I'm right in this situation.
Okay.
I'm looking.
Well,
I mean, yes, it would be, the A's would both be pronounced the same. It would be Monogatari. Or Gatari.
Monogatari series.
Monogatari.
Both O's would have the same pronunciation. Both A's would have the same pronunciation. That would be the correct way to say
I'm
it.
gonna listen.
Do not listen to Google Translate say it.
I have some opinions.
All right.
I have not personally seen Monogatari. So I'm gonna avoid 1 in its entirety. Everything
Okay.
is getting moved up because I've not seen it, and I have a bad impression on it currently, so I won't say anything about it.
All right.
JoJo's. I'm liking where JoJo's is. I need to pick that back up.
You do.
I'll
Really
say
do.
it. I dropped JoJo's. Not dropped it. I paused it long.
What season did you pause it in?
I am in Stardust Crusaders Part 1.
See, you should do what I do
So
and be a
good.
part skipper. Be a chronic part skipper. Makes it so good.
You can do that with shows that aren't JoJo's.
No, 'cause I did it.
I
with-
will admit, part 3 of JoJo's, the Stardust Crusaders, that's a bottom tier JoJo's part. I'd say bottom 2. It is
Okay.
the second worst.
Behind the
and
first
that's why I
one?
haven't seen it yet.
Yep.
Yeah, oh well.
I love both
Besides Phantom Blood, Stardust
I-
Crusaders is bad.
I am rating JoJo's as a whole here.
Yeah, that's fair. I think JoJo's is one of the ones that probably could have been on my list, but I didn't put it on there. I think that's a good placement. JoJo's is peak.
Indeed.
I like One Piece. placement.
Yep.
It's kind of weird because you haven't gotten to Wano yet, so I'm just confused. It's very high up. I didn't even put it on my list because it holds a very special place to me.
Yeah, I
that
mean,
can't
to
be
me,
rated.
I'm rating something different because this is something that I've spent 12, time-wise, 12 days of my life watching. So part of it might be, there are some not bad parts. There are some really slow and boring parts to One Piece. But there's so much of it that, as with JoJo's, as a whole, it is amazing.
I think you guys are rating it so highly because you're afraid that you watched all those episodes for nothing. This is my
Well,
But
not really,
I don't
because
even have it
I
on my list.
skipped the really bad parts. The really boring parts, I didn't even watch them.
I watched everything. I am confident that I'm not saying I wasted my time watching.
Yeah.
Because if I did, why would I have watched other people watching it?
That's fair.
It's because I want to see people react. I remember the banger One Piece moments. That's not just the parts that are good. It's also the motherfucking giant Luffy eating for an entire episode, alright? There are parts that are so dog shit that it is unbearable to watch the show.
God
AKA
damn,
Thriller Bark.
that sounds fun.
Yeah, I will admit, I did not
banger.
watch any of Thriller Bark. Well, I watched the last 5 episodes of Thriller Bark.
It's a struggle.
I'm gonna say, Nick, your list, other than Monogatari, is pretty safe for you, and I was surprised.
Well-
It doesn't surprise me. I think also, Daniel, you don't know what, I think you should also take Monogatari with a grain of salt because of how high up it is in my list.
Yeah,
Mm.
I think
Step back.
you have full right to hate things that just I have watched and you think are a little bit questionable. But
Like
in the
Death Note.
case, how is Death Note questionable? Death Note
Everybody
is
else seen it.
so
Must be
good.
bad.
Too much
Wait, yeah.
fan service.
How can we pause for a second? How have none of you guys seen Death Note?
I dropped it.
Really?
I will admit. Yeah.
It just
Oh,
looks
in
boring.
the first couple
It was-
episodes.
Yeah, it is
Yeah.
so dull and uninteresting.
The first couple episodes are is slow. That's when I try to either get people to watch it or I watch it with people. I spend the first 4 episodes don't worry, it gets good after this, which is it. The fact that
That's
it's
a
still
boring
high up.
vibe.
The fact that it's still so high up is because the ending makes up for it in spades. The ending of Death Note is so unbelievably well done, but it is hindered by a very slow beginning.
The premise is just, it doesn't feel super creative. This is my
I was
I
yeah. I remember I was just like, she
Well,
writes the names in the book, and then they die.
It's like congratulations.
Cool. Maybe there'll be some conflict about the book.
I
I
mean,
mean,
people will fight over.
maybe, but it's not like he's just using it to kill everyone. Like, he's got his own character that is what makes the show what it is.
I don't care. He's boring. He's not a fun character. He sucks.
You have not seen it, correct?
Yeah, I'm
Opinion
going off vibes
rejected.
here.
Opinion
Okay.
fully rejected.
see
I
this
just, I
exact
get the vibe.
this exact situation right here is the reason I'm going to watch Jobless Reincarnation season 2, just so I can tell Nick it's bad and I watched it all and I can tell him that it's bad.
Yeah, and
I'm
if
Yeah.
justified.
if you
100%.
watch
You're brave.
if you watch it all and you say, Nick, this is so horrible, I can't believe you watched it, you should never think about this show ever again. I fully respect that, because you watched it, you
Yeah.
experienced the same thing as me, and if you didn't like it, that's fair.
And I can do that for season 1. So it was awful. None of the characters are redeemable or like fun or like likable.
What
in
about the big
any
cat
way.
lady? What about the big cat lady, Daniel?
All right, so I'd like to retract my previous statement about none of the characters being redeemable. Cat lady.
That lady.
Cat lady.
But back Monogatari, I think that in my opinion, it is so good that I think despite this fan service, like it is so good in my opinion that I like am willing to overlook the fan service to the point that it is number 3 on my list, ahead of Evangelion.
Yeah.
This
Okay.
is
The storyline, the characters, the music for it, the score, the way that Shaft does the art for it, there's so much else there besides just the Nisa Monogatari season.
yeah,
That
just yeah.
and you do still
I
have
think
to.
Nisei is the
Nisei is the worst season. You still should watch that season. I can tell you that episode 8 is the one that you should not watch. Because even with its slow parts, that's Nicole. Remember, that's where you get introduced to Kaiki.
Yeah, I was just thinking
So,
about that. Yeah.
and that's another token to
That's bad.
Monogatari, is that the worst season is still really good.
Yeah, I think I could argue differently. But I think the worst season still has things that make it worth
Watching,
at least knowing what happened.
yeah,
It's funny because I could say that same argument for One Piece, actually. The worst arcs still have something like really, really good in them that makes it redeemable. Except Thriller Bark.
Yeah.
Only the end.
That's
Only
cat,
the
bro.
ve-
Brook
no,
is
no,
in
no, no,
Thriller
no.
Bark. And
Brook-
that sword fight with Zoro?
I'm just saying at the very, very end of Thriller Bark was like really impactful and like a big moment in One Piece where he absorbs pain. You remember that?
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, is that the end?
Could Luffy beat Zoro? I don't care.
Average
okay.
shoujo watcher. Anyways, to go down through some of mine, because we already touched on JoJo's and One Piece.
Oh, I'm too invested in the grocery store arc right now. I kept
Attack
forgetting
on-
about fight.
Attack on Titan. Nicole, you're watching it right now.
Oh yeah.
I know a lot of people who are watching it. I've read the whole manga, so I know how it ends. I like the ending. I think that people who don't like the ending didn't understand the show, which is a very, straightforward way to say it, but that's how I feel. Death Note, as I said, is amazing. Ava is a classic. It's so good. If you haven't seen it, I didn't want to watch it. I was convinced to look past the Shinji parts. It's really good. Your Name, like Daniel said, it's super good. I've seen it 21 times, and so in that regard, I can't really say that I don't like it. Howl's Moving Castle, in my opinion, is the best of the Ghibli movies. That's just me. And then ReZero, I really liked. The part, Daniel, that you thought was slow was actually one of the parts that I liked the best, which is
Season
just
2.
difference in us. Yeah. The sort of having to be thinking constantly about how many times he had done something before, and like what has happened that the other people know about, and what has happened that only he knows about. Trying to remember all that and think about how that plays into the storyline. I really enjoyed the whole thing.
I feel like the people of ReZero, like the creators, the animators, whatever, the storyteller, director, they could have trusted the viewer a little bit more to understand what was happening, so I didn't have to see the same shit over and over again. I know that's kind of the plot of ReZero, is doing the same shit over and over again, but in season 2 it suffered from that more than in season 1. In season 1 it was still like dealing with morality and stuff like that. In season 2 they did do a lot of that, but they leaned less on that, and I just remember like seeing the same character like over and over again and them having a very similar discussion again. And it didn't feel like there was that much progress moving forward, and they're in the same, I think something that bothered me, they're in the same place the entire second season.
Did any of you guys watch the Amelia OVA?
Yes.
I
No.
really liked it.
I
thought it was
also really
fantastic.
enjoyed it. It was very well done.
I cried. I think I cried. It was really
You
good.
also get to see drunk Rem and drunk Amelia if you watch that one.
I saw
which
that
is quite
clip.
wholesome. So,
Is it?
Oh yes.
well, yeah, that moment is pretty wholesome.
Okay.
You get to see Rem make cat noises. I think that's a win in anyone's book.
I don't know if that's wholesome as much as like
Yeah.
non-sexual fan service.
Yeah.
Call it what you will.
It's not like comic-y fan service. It's like something I don't know. I don't know how to
Yeah.
describe that.
But do you guys want to maybe touch on just a couple more news things, or do all of the news stuff and then jump into the Crunchyroll Awards?
Let's just do a couple news things.
Well, I will do a quick one then. 2 quick ones. So for one, they announced the Twitter account for Ogreat, who is the manga artist for Nishio Ishin's Bakemonogatari novel, and a absolute maniac when it comes to drawing, by the way, said that it will be the manga will enter its final stage in 2022, which can mean good and bad things. The Bakemonogatari manga was actually a combined version of a couple of the seasons. And for those of you that don't know, the light novels came first in the Monogatari series, followed by the anime, and now they're doing manga for it. So what this can mean is that either we get more, which would be good, because I think there's still 4 light novels that have yet to be translated and then adapted, or it could mean that because they combined a couple of the parts for the Bakemonogatari manga, that they might not be doing anymore. So
Yeah,
well,
I think that's what I was hearing people think.
Yeah.
Is that
Well,
it
no.
means the end of the manga.
Yeah, which would be tragic, but I also feel a little bit happy for Ogreat because he doesn't have to do God's work anymore, which he does an amazing job if you haven't read it. Yeah, and then the other thing would be we are getting a Among Us manga in 2022.
Good God.
I feel like most people have probably already heard this, but for those of you that haven't, it is something to look forward to. If you loved Among Us, if you hated Among Us, you now get to deal with anime Among Us, which
Let's go.
it could not get any better.
That's gonna be fantastic.
Yeah.
For our culture.
Yeah. Anyone else got any news stuff before we jump into the Crunchyroll Awards?
I could just add, I mean, I have one extra thing that I was gonna say before was an anime that no one who cares about. Don't Toy With Me, Miss Nagatoro. As regardless of your opinions on it, they had to release a dub, an English dub, and as filthy as that anyone who watches that show is, they got filthier because they're also racist. The voice actor for Nagatoro in the dub was a person of color, and people were very upset about it, saying it ruins my perfect image of like anime. Like there shouldn't be like black people in my
Ruined their immersion.
Yeah, I was like, what? Are you serious? It doesn't like she oh what was her name? I had her name pulled up.
Yeah, I can't remember it.
She was in a bunch of other works that were like
all good,
really good.
Yeah.
And she was in ReZero for the dub.
Yeah. Wasn't she Beatrice?
No, she was Typhon.
Oh yeah. Well, that I mean, I totally agree with you that I mean, obviously there's going to be stupid racist people on the internet, but also for them to get mad about that, if you remember, not only was Hawks from My Hero animated by or voiced by an African American, also won the best English voice actor at the awards, and I don't remember
Yeah, that's last
anyone.
year, right?
I don't remember anyone being angry about that. So I think it's
Yeah,
just
well, I
people
think
picking things to be. Maybe it's My Hero fans versus Nagatoro fans, and in this one, actually, My Hero fans are going to win because they are not racist.
Yeah.
I don't know
Hmm,
if I could go that far.
yeah. The voice actress was Kimberly Ann Campbell, who did Nagatoro, um, Frederica from '86,
Yes.
um,
Interesting.
Jemima from Promised Neverland, Typhon from ReZero, and Hina from Hunter x Hunter, amongst many others.
Yeah. And
Amongst?
amongst
Yes.
Daniel, when you mentioned this to me separately a little while ago, I looked up or I watched clips of the ReZero dub of the Typhon part. And I am a staunch when a dub is bad, I tell it how it is.
Yeah.
So for me to sing the praise of a dub or of a voice actor means a little bit extra because it means that not only did I think it was good, I thought that it was worth watching it in. And she does a very good job on the characters that so far she's done. So I still am not going to watch Nagatoro, but for the people that do and want to watch it dubbed, I don't think you will be disappointed. It's going to be very good.
Yeah. Couldn't be me.
Yeah. And speaking of the Hawks Anime Awards thing, let's jump into going through the nominations now that they're out.
Yeah.
I don't know, Daniel and Gus, have you guys gotten a chance to look at them much yet?
I
Yeah, I
voted.
voted.
We'll just go through them, read off the things, and if anyone has a hot take they want, we can have a hot take. Starting it off with Anime of the Year, 8686 got nominated. Attack on Titan Final Season Part 1, Jujutsu Kaisen Part 2, Odd Taxi, Ranking of Kings, and Sunny Boy.
I feel like this one's pretty easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's going to come down to Jujutsu Kaisen Part 2 or Attack on Titan, but if you think about an anime that defined 2021, I think Attack on Titan just has to win it.
Yeah.
I will say, I watched none of these except for Jujutsu Kaisen, and I skipped this category because yes, Jujutsu Kaisen is really good, but I didn't think it was anime of the year because wasn't it like in between? It was 2020 and 2021.
The
Like
second part
this,
was
the
just
second part.
2021.
I don't think it deserves to be in 2021. Like I loved it. It's my number one favorite anime on my list. Well, those could all be moved around. It's based on how pretty the pictures are. But
Yeah.
like Jujutsu Kaisen shouldn't be in this year's thing.
I do not agree with that.
I'm okay with it being in there. I think that the second part, Jujutsu Kaisen Part 2, I think it was a winter 21, which
it
to me
just didn't
counts
feel
as.
like it
It
didn't
was
feel like a second part though, because like usually when I think of like parts, I think of like there's a brief hiatus before they posted this or like made the second half.
Well,
Yeah.
Was
was
there one?
Jujutsu Kaisen on last year's Anime Awards?
Yeah, Jujutsu
Yeah.
Kaisen won some stuff last year's. Part 2 was on this year's. Because if you remember, Daniel, last year we were voting at this time on Jujutsu Kaisen, the first part. Or, sorry, we were voting on, yes, the first part while the second part was coming out. So it was 2021.
Okay. I don't know how
But
I
yeah,
felt
I
about
kind of get what you're talking about.
but I'm so glad that Mushoku Tensei watchers are angry and upset that their anime did not make it to Anime of the Year.
I
I'm ecstatic actually.
I am not ecstatic. I'm also not disappointed. I just don't think that it deserved to be on there.
I don't think it deserves anything other than the animators. They deserve some more money, but
Yeah.
also
And therapy.
and therapy.
Yeah.
And
If you got
a
if you
lot
got
a
an
lot
anime
of
like
therapy.
that they need some therapy.
Next
Alright,
up,
best
categories we've
boy.
got Best Boy. We've got Senku, got Miyamura from Harimiya, got Otokawa from Odd Taxi, Boji from Ranking of Kings, Draken from Tokyo Revengers, and Mikey from Tokyo Revengers. I
It's Miyamura. There's no
I
question.
voted for Senku each time because
That's
I want him to
ridiculous.
win.
Why would he win?
Because he is the
Compared to
best boy of that
Miyamura?
show.
Okay. So this guy Hi, I'm Daniel. I'm actually the host of this podcast now because I have correct opinions. And I voted Izumi because Senku's emotional range went from "that's not cool" to "I love science," and that was his emotional range. Like
That's not
he's a
cool.
he's a
Slash.
cool
I love science.
he's a fine character. He just wasn't like best boy. When I think best boy, I think of like a very appealing, very fun, very interesting, in-depth character. Senku was like, yes, science. I like building things. I like getting off to batteries. And I'm like, oh, okay, like that's cool. I like this concept,
Are we
but
watching the
not best
same
boy.
Dr. Stone?
I love Senku, but I did not vote for him for best boy.
Yeah, I like him. He shouldn't be best boy. That's all.
These are all
Best
good takes.
scientist? No question.
No
I
question.
think
Best scientist category.
unfortunately I think it's going to come down to I think Mikey might win from Tokyo Revengers
I do
I
like
voted
Mikey.
for Mikey.
or Boji from Ranking of Kings. I've seen a lot of people talk good, sing the praises of
Mhm.
Ranking of Kings. So,
Mhm.
um,
Let's speed along. We'll give best girl the same attention as best boy, but let's not read every single one. Not every
Okay.
single nomination.
yeah, best girl. I voted. I got Vladilena Malaise from 8686, Toru Honda from Fruits Basket. Got a car
The
name.
fuck you saying it like that?
Honda. Nobara
Honda.
Kugasaki
Shut the fuck up.
from Jujutsu Kaisen. We've got Watanabe from Kageki Shoujo. We've got Komi from Komi Can't Communicate, and I from Wonder Egg Priority. I think this one's pretty
Put some
easy for
respect
most
on
of us.
Toru Honda's name.
Daniel, did you also
I
vote Nobara?
I can't remember. It was between Komi and Kugasaki, only because I had the same opinion on Jujutsu Kaisen probably shouldn't be in this running. But
Mm.
I guess that was a
If you think of
I
this
could
category as Jujutsu Kaisen in this category, who would you vote?
like it made sense that they're there.
Yeah.
I would say Kugasaki.
Okay.
Only because like with Komi Can't Communicate, they can't communicate her emotions that well to the viewer as well. Like they have to be creative about it. But it's hard to get to know a character without them talking. Uh, so that's not on Komi. That's on the show's design. Kugisaki, you knew a lot about her from after season one. You're like, oh yeah, she uh is a complete badass. She loves herself when she's pretty, but also can beat the shit out of you. She's extremely independent and can like focus on herself. And she's great. She's awesome. I love her.
We don't need to sing the praises of Jujutsu Kaisen characters anymore. Yeah,
Yeah.
for best protagonist, we won't read them all, but despite the hype, I voted Eren Yeager. I think that of 2021, he was the best protagonist.
Yeah, me too.
So
I can't remember. I think I voted for Yuji because to make Attack on Titan fans mad.
I did the same thing. I have not seen any of Attack on Titan at all.
That is tragic.
That's on you.
Because if you recommend a show to me a lot and there's already a season out of it, like completely out, the likeliness of me watching it goes down exponentially. Like people have been recommending me by people, I mean y'all, other than Gus. Monogatari, Attack on Titan, Your Lie in April. If it's already out and you're hyping it up a lot, I probably won't come to it until I stumble upon it myself.
That's fair.
Yeah.
But again, you should watch it.
Great. Now that adds like another week onto not watching it. I'm at 2 years right now.
Here's for some conflict. Best antagonist, you guys probably saw. Aaron got voted that or got nominated for that as well. The reason that I vote him in protagonist, but despite his other stuff, is because he can be both a protagonist and an antagonist.
I agree with
However, just because he can be does not make him the best. And I think that Shigaraki from My Hero, if you watch season 5, is such a well fleshed out antagonist that he takes this one easy.
Okay.
I voted for Shigaraki.
Yeah.
I cannot, in
I
good
voted-
faith, vote for anything related to My Hero Academia, so I did not vote for him.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I voted for Echidna because I liked her. She was a good antagonist.
I like her a little too much. She's like she is best girl of ReZero.
Is that
I
part of
don't.
ReZero technically a JoJo's reference?
What do you mean by that?
Explain.
So she makes him drink that tea, which we know
Mhm.
is questionable. Isn't that a reference to part 5? Gus, you're the only one
Can
who's
we-
Do we
watched
know
it.
that she pisses
Gus,
in it?
can we get our judge? No, she didn't necessarily piss in it.
Yeah. we don't know she
Neither
pisses, right?
necessarily did fucking what's his
We
name?
don't know. We don't know what
We-
fluid came out of
You
his penis
don't
when he was
don't
pissing in-
know.
when he was
He could have
producing
done it.
liquid in that cup.
You don't know. So in a way,
Hmm.
I think that's a JoJo's reference. Best fight
I
scene?
think you're very wrong.
Yeah, best fight scene. Aaron versus Warhammer. He just unplugged it and then beat it. That wasn't very good.
Yeah.
I refused to vote for Boruto, even though I saw that fight scene or clips of it, and it was pretty good.
Well, that's unlucky about Boruto.
What?
So many amazing choreographed scenes and animation and like fight scenes in general are wasted on such a shitty ass garbage show that should be burned in hell. I
Yeah.
hate Boruto, but like the fight scenes with like Naruto and Sasuke in Boruto are like top tier.
Yeah. So basically, I think this one's going to come down to voting on which Jujutsu Kaisen fight was better. And as much as I loved the brother fight, I think that the Nobara and Itadori fight was better.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Best director.
I got to give it to Attack on Titan.
Yeah. That's fair. I agree.
It is overhyped, but a decent amount of that hype is warranted.
Yeah, I think so too. Best
Um,
animation, Vivi.
yeah, I think I said Vivi for this one too.
Really?
Did you guys
Because
watch Vivi?
I did not see Vivi.
for the
It's
only,
fantastic.
if it said Demon Slayer Mugen Train like the
Yeah.
movie, I would have voted for that.
That is what it is.
That is
No,
what it is. Man.
Well, it's
It
the-
is.
Mugen Train Arc is the movie.
Nick, I'm so sorry to say, as someone who's watched the movie and like the episodes of it, they took the movie and in all of its beauty and just cut it up into digestible episodes. That's
Oh,
all
yeah.
they did.
I
They
think
did
that
not like.
I think that
reanimate it.
I think that the movie is better because we watched it in the theater. I think
Okay.
that made the animation seem better. But still, Vivi was amazing. If you haven't watched it, it is very good. What did I say for character design? I think I said Skate Infinity for the character design.
I think I said Jujutsu Kaisen.
Yeah, I think I said Vivi. Actually, maybe I didn't.
I don't know if I voted for this.
I don't remember either.
Because the thing is, Vivi is very cool, but the character design is like it's just her.
Yeah. And the thing with
Well-
Jujutsu Kaisen is most of them, like, they're wearing the same outfit, although some of them just have, like, their shirt off or a kimono.
I don't think that's what they mean by character design. Do they?
Well, I just mean that part of it. Like, otherwise, it's
Oh.
just a bunch of. I mean, well, besides the panda, I guess.
I
Love
don't
that
know.
guy.
Panda's pretty cool.
I think Daniel thinks it's like the actual character of the characters.
Like all the
Where
characters, how they're designed.
Nick is thinking about their appearance.
How they're designed, yeah. I don't know. I guess it's up
I
to
don't
the.
know if you can. Yeah.
I guess up to the person who's picking. No good way to pick that. Best score, it's got to go to Vivi.
Yeah,
That music was top tier.
very based. It was very good.
Did anyone see any of the other ones for best Japanese voice actor performance? Like Daniel, did you see So I'm a Spider? That seems like what you would watch.
It was
I did not
trash.
see
It was trash. It was complete trash.
Well, what I
Should not
thought
have
was,
been
Spider, so
fucking
what?
on there for anything.
uh,
Me and Jacob watched like the first 2 episodes. It was garbage.
one
that
of
show
the
was
better
terrible.
version of that show. That time we got reincarnated as a slime.
Yep, that's fair.
Okay.
English-
Actually, So I'm a Spider actually had some interesting plot points, but it was still garbage. The animation was terrible.
All right, well, good to know. I'll stay away from that.
Having, again, not seen any of these dubbed, other than that one clip of Adam saying the funny bros and non-binary hoes clip,
That's all I needed.
I
That's
voted
all
for him.
needed.
I knew
I-
that clip existed, and that was enough for me.
I
That was
voted for
enough.
Toru. She did. It was so good.
We're talking about English right now, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I almost voted Yuji, but then I realized the part where he says he likes women like Megan Thee Stallion was not actually official and did not make it into the final dub. I went to Adam instead.
Yeah. Yep, I think that's fair. Best opening sequence, gotta give it to Yoasobi, the Beastars.
Yeah. I agree.
Really?
It went so hard.
I put Crybaby from
Crybaby
Tokyo Revengers.
was a close second. Crybaby is very good.
I was
I think
Yoasobi
I
gets
voted
on
for
your
the
so
Attack on Titan
hard.
one.
Yeah, I mean
Every so hard.
that's the thing
This
is
they had bangers for this one. I can't
yeah,
lie.
the Jujutsu Kaisen one was good. Crybaby super good. The Yoasobi one ridiculously good. The Attack on Titan opening, I watched the first 2 episodes. I was like, this sucks. By the end of it, I was playing that whole intro every single time.
which
Oh, yeah.
which season of okay, never mind. Wild Side was a good Beastars. Like I listened to that
If you
intro a lot.
haven't heard this one is, I think, just as good as Wild
Really?
Side
I
in a
listened-
different way.
So
I listened
hard.
to it. I didn't like it as much.
You didn't like it?
As
I
much.
think
Like, it
you're
was
just
like, oh, it is
misogynistic.
good.
You don't
That-
like female voices.
You don't like Yoasobi.
That's a great point.
Daniel is trying to suppress female voices because he doesn't like Yoasobi.
I think I said the Attack on Titan for the best ending
Yeah, I agree. I did too.
because I didn't really like that Lisa ending, and the Yoasobi ending for Beastars wasn't as good.
Wait, I literally like Yobasobi.
Yoba.
Yobasobi.
Yobasobi.
Yoasobi.
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 What did you guys
I
all say
literally
for
like
best action?
other song. Okay. moving
This
on.
one was hard. I didn't vote for Attack on Titan because I know it's gonna win best overall.
I said Jujutsu
I-
Kaisen.
I think I voted for Vivi. I know it's not gonna win, but I wanted to give it a vote.
I can't remember if I was torn between Jujutsu Kaisen and Demon Slayer because they were
Yeah.
both very good.
That's
Yeah.
just the train arc, though. So when I think of action happening, I only think of the end of Mugen Train. But when I think of action happening in Jujutsu Kaisen, there's like 3 or 4 fight scenes I think of.
Yeah.
That's
So
fair.
I just,
That's fair.
and they're all quality. So I went for the quantity pick.
Yeah,
You know,
For the quality pick.
I think that's sort of what it comes down to on that one is which one. All right, welcome to the Daniel category. Best comedy. Daniel, which one of these that you watched did you like the most?
Oh wait, I actually have seen most of these.
Yeah.
I, as much as I watched Don't Toy With Me, Miss Nagatoro. That shit wasn't funny at all. Whom Can't Communicate was a wholesome kind of funny. Where you're like, it's not necessarily like laughing your ass off, but it made you feel happy.
Yeah.
So I voted for that. I know Heaven's Design Team is pretty funny, and I have not seen Life Lessons or Odd Taxi, and I refuse to watch Kobayashi Dragon Maid S.
Respectable.
Respectfully, unrespectfully, I didn't watch it.
We will move on to the Nicole and me category.
Hell yeah.
Best drama.
Fruits Basket final season. If it doesn't win, I might actually cry. It deserves it so much.
While I have no doubt that Fruits Basket deserves it, I want 8-6 to win something because it also deserves it. But
it does. I agree
I
with
just
that.
don't think enough people watched it for it to get other nominations.
Yeah.
To Your Eternity was also good. I just don't think it was best.
Yeah. I
Now,
have to watch Keiichi Shoujo. That is something for me to watch. Actually, you know what? I am rescinding best drama to you. 8-6
Let's
can have it.
go.
Best
Thank
romance
you for
is
the
Fruits
vote.
Basket.
I think I voted for Fruit Basket for both.
I was so shocked
Thank
to
you.
see The Duke of Death and His Maid as a nomination. I watched all of that. I was like, it was nice, only because I reverted back to 16-year-old shonen watcher, and hot big booba maid is like constantly trying to hit on this like guy.
Big
But-
booba.
Is he the Duke
Yeah.
of Death?
He's the Duke of Death because he was
No
cursed by
way.
a witch. He was cursed by a witch at a young age that everything he touched died. And she gets really up in his face and like close to him, and it like freaks him out. For one, because he likes her, and two, because he could literally kill her if he touches her. So
Best fantasy. I am here to say
Best fantasy.
should not go to Jobless Reincarnation. Should not go to Ranking
Good.
of Kings. Should not go to Case Study of Vanitas or Wonder Egg Priority
Whoa.
or To Your Eternity. It should go to Reincarnated as a Slime Season 2.
Whoa.
Wonder Egg Priority wasn't a fantasy, so I am going to listen to whatever anyone says. Because
Okay. I have not seen Ranking of Kings, so it's void in my opinion. Anything that I didn't see did not exist in that category because I didn't want to try to rank something I never watched.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To Your Eternity, I know is really good. Wonder Egg, I didn't see. Case Study of Vanitas, banger. It's my guilty pleasure of hot vampires, doing anything, and there was like enough action in there, and yeah, it's a must see. You have to see it, guys. Come on. It's
Yeah.
vampires. There's one that is like really good at fighting, but she like blushes. And I'm like, yeah. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
What did you vote for, though?
I think I voted for Slime.
I mean, it just is the best fantasy out of these.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
I'll give it to you.
And then, I think we're all on agreement for best film, right?
Yeah.
Doubtful.
No,
I didn't vote.
but
Well,
I'm
not Nicole.
voting-
No, sorry, Nicole is not in agreement.
Yeah.
But
I didn't vote for this actually.
really,
Yeah, because I've only seen one of these, and I don't want to vote because I've only seen one of them. Like I feel like there's so many other ones. I don't know. Just me.
maybe I will still vote, having only seen one of them, and that vote will be for Demon Slayer.
Mine, okay. I know Evangelion 3.0 plus 1.0 is not going to win because it wasn't the most popular, but it's still really good.
True.
That's all I got.
Remember, it's not 4.0, it's 3.0 plus 1.0 thrice upon a
If
time.
you say 4.0, that's a crime.
I'd be not only calling it 4.0, I'd just be calling it Eva and dropping the whole thrice upon a time part.
You can say that. You
It's
know
Eva
what?
4.0.
Nope.
Oh,
Nope.
that's got to be taboo.
Yeah, that's not. That's a little.
Call it what you will. That's what I'll call it.
Man,
Okay.
I love Ufotable. Ufotable is hilarious.
Ufotable just, I
Have you seen
think
their logo?
the UFO.
Oh, I think they have a new logo. Their old one is hilarious.
Old logo. Let's see what we're working with. You mean where it's just the word Ufotable written out?
Yeah, because I'm going to be honest, it doesn't look good.
looks
What are the
horrible.
circles? What do the circles mean?
Who knows? And then you look at the art that they're producing, like Demon Slayer, Fate, and then one of the artists did not make their logo. They just got some random dude off the street. To write it out.
They probably had the CEO do it. They gave him Google Slides.
Uh,
Said, "What can you make? What can you make with Google Slides?"
Just make us something, please.
Oh, did they do God Eater? Huh. Interesting. I saw God Eater. It was okay.
I did
There's
not.
big
I saw-
boobs in that one too.
I saw people talk about it, and I said, "Cool. You can go on my planned list and never get watched ever."
That was me, but the Monogatari series so far.
Yeah, except you'll
Oh.
watch that.
Yeah, probably. There's just 30 things in front of it. But we'll
Yeah.
get there. We'll get there.
Eventually. Eventually, everyone will get to their planned list.
Everyone will get to Monogatari. It all roads lead to Monogatari.
They do, truly.
All roads lead to mine.
All right. Anyone have any final points they want to make?
Uh,
I have 81
Huh?
days of anime watched. That's not important. I just want to put that out
I've
there.
almost hit 50 right now. I'm so
I think
close.
I'm at 61.
All right. Well, I got to make sure I keep ahead of the curve.
You have a 19-day gap on me. I don't think I'm going to catch up anytime soon.
Yeah, I'm at
Don't worry. I'll make sure I'm
53
ahead.
days watched.
But Red,
How many of those days are
Weird.
One Piece?
Probably like half.
Like 20? 20
well, it
something?
doesn't count rewatches, so
I think if you set it as rewatched, it does. Oh, because it's still coming out. I think it should
No,
count
yeah.
I
rewatches.
do have it. Well, let me.
you can mark episodes like the plus button.
Oh,
So
you'd have to.
We use the
You can't go
Annie
above
list.
1,006.
We do not use
Mm.
anime list. We use Annie list. The difference is there's no me. So
Yep.
or my. It's just Annie list.
Yep. And there isn't the rest of the word anime either. It is just.
They took that out. We shortened it. We are to the point here.
We
on
are
Annie
very
list.
efficient people.
True, that I use it for the same reason that I call it Eva 4.0.
Same exact reason. Okay. Well, I'm excited to
Based
watch.
on my calculations, I've read more manga than everyone else combined.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that,
that's
I
not a
would
absolutely.
surprise.
I would count that. Anyway, so we'll finish this off with Daniel. What show are we watching and then discussing in 2 weeks?
Oh my gosh. Do I go for content or should I just want you guys to watch?
Go for either.
Let me go down my list a little bit. Who's seen Fire Force?
Me.
Some of it.
And remember, we're saying, what is it, 12 episodes a week that you can make everyone else watch?
Who's seen Kill la Kill?
Not
Most
me.
of it.
I started it.
I think that would be an interesting conversation on like fan service.
Kill La Kill?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can do Kill La Kill.
Because it's worse than Fire Force in that department, but it's like more beloved and more like it.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can say worse than Fire Force because
No. I mean, like in the amount of fan service.
yeah, there's more fan service, but
Yeah, so it's like I was trying to say that there's a lot more fan service in Fire Force, but for some reason doesn't get as much hate for
that's because
fan
it's
service.
not one character. It's
Yep.
literally
It's the
99% of the
difference.
characters.
This is a
And
great
it's imperative
conversation.
to the plot.
This is a great conversation for next time.
Yeah.
I might make a list of very fan servicey animes, and then we can like discuss that. But for this, someone needs to watch Kill la Kill.
Yeah.
It is
Oh yeah.
24 episodes, I believe.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
But
2
I've already
weeks.
seen it. I might rewatch.
Yeah.
So.
That was a thought I had. Even when you're picking stuff, I think that if you pick something that someone else has already watched, they should still rewatch it so that it's fresh. Because if everyone's watching something the week leading up to something and someone has watched it a year ago, they're just going to remember so much less.
Yeah.
So that's the plan. Kill La Kill for next episode. Complete.
Hey everyone, thanks for joining Subtitled Opinions. I'm your host, Daniel, joined today with these three lovely panelists, Lord Gus 666, P-Face, and Sovereign. Thanks for listening. Till next time, watch Kill la Kill. Join our conversation. Is there too much fan service in Fire Force? Why is Captain Obi